I never believed in sleep paralysis. Not until it happened to me. Even now, I question if it was sleep paralysis or something worse. Let me start from the beginning. It was my 3rd year of college, and I'd just moved into a studio apartment near campus. The place was cheap, too cheap. The landlord mumbled something about noise complaints from the previous tenant, but I didn't care. Rent was rent. The walls were thin, the carpet smelled like mildew, and the overhead light buzzed like a trapped fly. But it was mine. The first few nights were fine. Just the usual creaks of an old building. But then, the silence started feeling deliberate, like the apartment was holding its breath. I'd wake up at 3:17 a.m. every night, my digital clock glowing red, my throat dry. I blamed stress. Finals were coming up, after all. Then the noises began. It started with a faint tap 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 on the window above my bed, like someone flicking a fingernail against glass. I'd jerk upright, heart pounding, but there'd be nothing there. No tree branches, no birds. Just the streetlight's orange glare bleeding through the blinds. One night, I heard footsteps. Slow, shuffling, circling my bed. I froze, convinced someone had broken in. But when I finally mustered the courage to look, the room was empty. The deadbolt was still locked. The worst part was the smell. A sour, metallic odor, like pennies left in the rain. It clung to the air every morning. Things escalated on a Thursday. I'd fallen asleep studying, my face buried in a psychology textbook. I woke up, or thought I woke up, to the sound of static. Not the hiss of a TV, but a low, throbbing hum, as if the room itself were vibrating. My body felt leaven, my limbs pinned to the mattress. Panic surged as I realized I couldn't move, couldn't scream. That's when I saw it. In the corner, near the closet, a shadow darker than the rest. It didn't move, didn't breathe, just watched. My eyes strained to adjust, but its edges stayed blurred, like static on an old film reel. Slowly, it leaned forward, too tall, too thin. Its head tilted at an unnatural angle, and I heard a wet, clicking sound, bones shifting. I tried to shut my eyes, but they wouldn't obey. The shadow crept closer, its outline rippling. A hand, long, spindly fingers, reached toward me. The smell of copper flooded my nostrils. I wanted to thrash, to vomit, but I was trapped in that awful limbo between sleep and wakefulness. Then it spoke. Not in words, but in a guttural whisper that seemed to come from inside my own skull. "You." The static grew deafening. When I finally snapped awake, sunlight was streaming through the blinds. My sheets were soaked with sweat. The clock read 7:03 a.m. I told myself it was a nightmare, a hyper-realistic stress dream. But my textbook lay open on the floor, pages crumpled, and on the carpet beside it, a single muddy footprint, too large to be mine. I bolted the door that night, stacked chairs under the knob, slept with a knife under my pillow. But it didn't matter. 3 nights later, it happened again. The static, the paralysis, the shadow. This time, it stood at the foot of my bed, its face inches from mine. I still can't describe its features. They seemed to shift, like a reflection in disturbed water. But I remember the smile. Too wide. Too many teeth. "Found you," it rasped. When I woke, the front door was wide open, the deadbolt untouched. I moved out the next day. Didn't even bother getting my security deposit back. The landlord texted a week later, asking why I'd left the closet door off its hinges. I didn't reply. I still wake up at 3:17 a.m. sometimes, and when I do, I check the locks. Twice. 3 times, just to be sure. For weeks after that final encounter, I couldn't escape the feeling that I was being watched. Every creak in the apartment, every murmur of the wind against the window sent a shiver down my spine. I began to scrutinize every dark corner, searching for signs of that relentless presence. Sleep became a battleground between terror and exhaustion. I questioned my sanity as vivid images of that shifting smile and the cold, lingering smell of copper haunted my thoughts during the day. I avoided mirrors, afraid that the distorted reflection might somehow mimic that ghastly face. At night, every shadow in the corridor and every whisper of movement made my heart race uncontrollably. My friends tried to reassure me, insisting it was just an overactive imagination fueled by stress. But I knew what I experienced was real, too real. I couldn't shake the sense that something had followed me even after I left that cursed apartment. Every time I closed my eyes, I felt that same oppressive paralysis, and in the silence, I could almost hear that chilling, guttural whisper calling my name. Even now, I remain cautious, haunted by the memory of that inexplicable terror. I still live in lingering dread.